You'll remember the Premier Doug Ford spoke directly to auto insurance companies at his April 30th press conference. He was asked about those who haven't or have barely offered any rebates to clients despite the ability to do so. And he said to the auto insurance companies, lower your rates. People are not driving as much, but you keep taking their checks. According to a 2019 report from the Insurance Bureau of Canada, drivers in Ontario pay an average of $1,505 per year in auto insurance premiums, which is second highest in the country after British Columbia. Joining us to talk about this is Nainesh Kotak, the founder of Kotak Personal Injury Law. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you on.
Thank you, Barb. Great to be on.
It's really frustrating for everyone who has a vehicle, who has attempted to contact their insurance company. I don't know, maybe there are some companies, and you might know them offhand, that have offered just a general, we'll give you 15% for the next 3 months. But with the others, it feels to me like it's like pulling teeth.
Absolutely, Barb. Let me give you some of the backdrop of how few vehicles there are on the road right now, which obviously translates into less accidents. So according to the Toronto Police, from March 15th to April 15th, 2019, there were 6,643 collisions. Come to this year now, March 15th to April 15th, only 1,748 collisions. That's a 74% drop. We're not getting 74% premium reductions. Most insurance companies, what they're saying is this, and I had my own experience, quite frankly. If you park your car in your driveway and you undertake not to move your car out of your driveway, we'll give you up to 75% reduction. Well, of course they will at any time, because that you're left with basically fire and theft. What the others are doing, and not all, but some are doing this, it ranges between 15 to 20 to 25%, up to that level of some sort of reduction. But it is clearly not enough. If you look at, and these stats that I gave, I'm sure are probably more bridged all over the province as opposed to Toronto, which would you normally see more accidents. So clearly what's being done is not enough. And let's look at this further. In the last 3 years, auto premiums in Ontario have gone up by 20%. Between 2014, 2017, and the last win years, they were 17 separate cuts to what could be given to people for accident benefits. That is, their therapy and income replacement, things like that. And reality is most people are stuck with just $3,500 worth of therapy unless you have a fracture or a total dislocation, a complete tear. So what we're seeing, and there was a report by Professor Lazar, earlier this year, which says, look, the profits the insurers make in Ontario for auto, that funds their casualty line throughout the country. We simply pay too much. And obviously right now we're paying too much. And I think, everybody's been asked to do something. The banks are agreeing to, okay, don't charge interest on mortgages for 6 months. I think the auto industry should have done more, and I don't think they needed to be scolded by the Premier before they did it themselves, quite frankly.
Whenever we talk about auto insurance, there's always a person that contacts us, and I'm sure they'll call us again tonight, who works in the insurance industry and swears up and down that they are losing money all the time. I mean, that's one part of this discussion. Another part is they have been asked, and they have seemed to indicate that something would be coming. But in our case, we were told weeks ago, you'll be getting an email about what we're going to be doing. We've received nothing. I feel like they're just dragging their heels in some cases.
I agree. To that person who calls in, ask them to open their books, show it. Because the reality is, no auto insurance company in Ontario is required to disclose their profits. And look, auto insurance is like a tax. We all have to have it. But there's that lack of regulation. What are your profits? They don't show it. So Fred Lazar, he's a renowned professor. He did the report and said, look, these are their profits, billions and millions of dollars they're making in profits. Show us different. Put the books out there and show us why we're wrong, as opposed to just general statements, we lose money, we lose money. I think people really get tired of that. Show it. Prove it.
I mean, what I don't understand, and maybe I just need this explained to me, is if we are required by law to have insurance, why are they not required to show the books?
Yeah, this is the problem. There really isn't that regulation. FISRA will approve their premium increases, but it's not based on them showing their profits. There really isn't that level of opening up the books. So, they've got, in my opinion, a tremendous lobby. They have a lot of money, a tremendous lobby, and it scares politicians. It scares the cabinet. If they're threatened with premium increases, if you don't do this, don't do that, because these are big election issues. If people are told, hey, your premiums may go up. So there's really this paralysis, in my opinion, of politicians really not wanting to touch this issue. But having seen what we've seen with the stats of such little, in terms of quantity of accidents that are happening right now, we need to be seeing some reciprocation by insurance companies, much more than, in my opinion, that they're giving. And we're certainly not seeing that. I mean, they are doing something. I went on this underwriters, and they say, okay, 15%, we're offering this, and some are giving a one-time rebate. But it's not enough. Not if you look at how few drivers there are on the road and how few accidents there are. It's not enough. And to tell somebody, well, park your car in your driveway, we'll give you up to 75% off. I'm not going to be in an accident. Maybe somebody will try to steal it, but that's about it. Of course they should be giving a discount. It just, I can understand why it gets people angry. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, look, some people, I personally would be at least a little happier if the company just said, because you said some of them do say, well, we'll give you a 15% discount for a certain amount of time. Some are doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And one thing Premier Ford did say, this is what he said. I love this guy. This is what he said.
Do you love him?
I do, yeah. People will remember. What you do now, it's like the price gouging we saw with one of the food chains that had that. And he's like, people are going to remember this, because this is the time when people are in need. And if you don't step up to the plate and do the right thing, people will remember when they go to renew, when they go to buy something else. They're going to remember how they were treated during these very difficult times.
Sure, and I think that's absolutely true. And I also remember the finance minister, Rod Phillips, saying something very similar. But it is the truth. People will remember, and I guess, it comes down to customer service as people move forward and they have to renew. If they get treated properly, they will go back perhaps to the same company. It's just very, very frustrating with so few people on the road that it's almost like any time you deal with insurance companies, it feels like a fight.
Wait till you get in an accident and try to get your massage therapy paid for. See what happens then.
Wow. Right. Thank you very much for doing this, Nainesh Kotak. We appreciate it. All right, great to talk to you. Nainesh Kotak, founder of Kotak Personal Injury Law.